From Neural Newscast, this is Prime Cyber Insights, intelligence for defenders, leaders, and decision makers.
Welcome to Prime Cyber Insights for March 24th, 2026. I'm Aaron Cole.
Aaron, we're tracking a significant escalation in supply chain risk this morning. Today, Ars Technica detailed a campaign by a group known as TeamPCP. They've successfully poisoned the Trivy vulnerability scanner along with over 24 NPM packages using a self-propagating worm dubbed CanisterWorm. What makes this particularly aggressive is the automation. It targets CI/CD pipelines to steal NPM tokens and then automatically leases any package those tokens can access with malicious code. It effectively turns the developer's own infrastructure against the entire ecosystem.
It creates a viral loop that is incredibly difficult to prune, Lauren. The speed of the automation is what practitioners need to note. Researchers at Aikido observed the worm hitting 28 packages in under 60 seconds. Curiously, the group added a wiper component called Kamikaze that only triggers if the infected machine is in the Iranian time zone or configured for that locale. While TeamPCP has traditionally focused on financial gain, this shift toward targeted destruction suggests they may be seeking higher visibility or perhaps transitioning into a state-aligned role.
It's a clear reminder that containment is only as good as the cleanup. Aqua Security attempted to rotate credentials after an initial breach in February, but because that rotation was incomplete, it left the door open for this latest wave. Shifting from the actors to the legal fallout, 26-year-old Russian national Aleksei Volkov was sentenced today to 81 months in prison. Volkov operated as a high-level initial access broker, or IAB, facilitating dozens of ransomware attacks for prominent crews like Yanluowang. The United States Department of Justice reports that his work led to at least $9 million in actual losses.
The legal net is definitely widening, Lauren. We're also seeing the first major consequences for the specialized infrastructure that surrounds these attacks. Prosecutors have now charged Angelo Martino, a negotiator for Digital Mint, for allegedly assisting the Black Cat gang and extorting higher payouts from victims. It signals a strategic pivot for the DOJ. They are moving beyond just the malware authors to target the entire ecosystem of brokers and negotiators who make the ransomware business model viable and profitable.
Speaking of that business model, Google's Mandiant released its annual M-Trends report this week, and the data on initial access shows a major shift. Voice phishing, or vishing, is now the number 2 method for gaining access overall, and is the top tactic for breaking into cloud environments. Attackers are simply calling corporate help desks to register their own devices for MFA or to request password resets. It's a low-tech approach, but the success rate in cloud-heavy organizations is forcing a fundamental rethink of help desk verification protocols.
The report also highlights what Mandiant calls living on the edge. Espionage groups, specifically a Chinese-linked cluster tracked as UNC 6201, are aggressively compromising edge devices like firewalls and routers where endpoint security rarely reaches. They are deploying backdoors like Brickstorm and sitting undetected for an average of 393 days. When you combine that with the fact that some ransomware handoffs now happen in under 30 seconds, the defensive window is either non-existent or massive, with almost no middle ground for IT teams to find.
The takeaway for practitioners is clear. Identity and edge infrastructure are the primary battlegrounds in 2026. Whether it's the automated supply chain poisoning of TeamPCP or the human-centric vishing identified by Mandiant, the common thread is the exploitation of trusted paths. Organizations must prioritize a comprehensive audit of their CI/CD tokens and strictly validate all help desk identity requests. As a reminder, this podcast is for informational purposes and does not constitute professional security advice.
That's the briefing for today. For more technical deep dives and full transcripts, visit pci.neuralnewscast.com. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com. I'm Aaron Cole.
And I'm Lauren Mitchell. We'll see you in the briefing room tomorrow. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.
This has been Prime Cyber Insights on Neural Newscast. Intelligence for defenders, leaders, and decision makers.